You're welcome to Nigerian Market, our Thursday edition. We last edition we focused on the IPO, how the IPO issue has actually devastated our economy in our nation. And you understand that Nigerian Market on this platform is always talking about economy and how we can be able to boost the economy of our nation so that we can be able to, be self-sufficient, provide jobs for our teeming youth, and be able to, take care of ourselves, eat what we produce and produce what we can eat alone. And that is our focus this morning. We want to again remind Nigerians that in the month of October, Nigeria celebrated our independence. And when you talk about independence, the whole world is looking at Nigeria. First, the first thing they'll talk about Nigeria is the population. It is always recorded that Nigeria is the most populated black nation in the world. And when it comes to Africa, it is always referred to Nigeria as the best economy. These are things we're going to discuss this morning. But then our focus will look at this morning is going to be on our unity in diversity. We understand that we have a large population in diversity. We have different ethnic groups. How we maximizing these population to be able to bring put food on the table is what we're going to focus this morning with. And with me in the studio, I have a very young gentleman. I look at him as a very versatile man. He's a complete Nigeria from my assessment this morning. He's not no longer a person than Mr. Jude. He's a public affairs analyst. Jude, you're welcome to our station.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a privilege and an honor for me to be on this platform of Nigerian market, buy Nigeria to grow Nigeria. Thank you very much.
And our regular co-host is not a person than my EED. You're welcome this morning.
Good morning, our viewers, and thank you for staying with us again.
All right. So we may not have enough time, but then God give us the grace to be able to look at. We're just going to discuss how our diversity and unity in diversity can be able to boost the economy of our nation. I just like earlier X-ray that other nations like China and India are heavily populated and they have used their population to their advantage, and that is why today Nigeria run to depend on them. So we want to begin to see how we can use our population to benefit ourselves, and that is why here in the platform Nigeria Market we always look at issues that we discuss with you. I will always invite you to join us in this kind of discussion. Let it be robust so that we can always put our hands together as a country to fight this menace of economic crunch. So, Mr. Jude, and as a complete Nigeria, I want you to just give us your view and your understanding what the population in diversity can be able to boost our economy when we talk about referring to other nations like India and China.
Thank you very much for this privilege once again. Now, just like you said, Nigeria is the most populated black nation in the world, and it's a saddening development that since independence, it look as if the pre-independence days is even better than the days of independence. Why? From the population offshoot of Africa, of Nigeria now that we're having over 200 million population, still yet we are still lagging behind in a whole lot of things that have crumbled the economy of the nation, which is nowhere comparable to those of the populated nations of China and India are able to produce. And now, one of the reasons why there is this deficit in our human capacity development in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole, it's because there is that little or no investment in the human capacity. Right. Now, when you look at a nation like China, these are people that understand that the best form of investment they can make is investment in people. And when you bring this investment, when your people are capacitated, when you build that capacity, they have already generated their own energy and they have spread it to the world. So when the world is going to China now, China is billing them. Why? Because they've already invested in themselves. And so you cannot take out this development in them to another place. You can't export it because it is home And if it's being deposited in their home, you can only come and buy what they have. You cannot take what they have and go to your other place. So there is this deficit of human capacity development and investment in our people that have resulted to the low economic development that we are facing in Nigeria as a whole. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for giving us that welcoming, warm remark over our population. But then we must continue to look at how Nigeria fares today. You and I will agree that our diversity is rather giving us more problem than a solution. Because I remember a few months ago, this last year, where a set of persons from a particular zone produce goods and deliverables that are supposed to be used by the entire nation. Because of one misunderstanding or the other, they decided not to and ordered it and said they were not going to transport their goods to the right zone because of some differences. Those are the areas I want to find out that if we continue as that as a nation, is that what other nations did? They developed. If Nigeria as a whole, we cannot be able to understand ourselves because human capacity that you have said is to understand ourselves and to embrace unity so that we can grow as a nation. So some of these factors are the issues that are actually drawing back. So we want to look at those factors so that we can be able to, x-ray them and give appraisal to see how government, as in Nigeria, as a people can be able to, reconnect and be able to overlook some of these indices that are actually affecting our economy. And if you've said that last time when we had this indices, and you had a point to raise on our ethnicity, and that's why you say the language issue. In Nigeria, I'm from Igbo, I'm from Hausa, I'm from Yoruba. These are the three major languages in Nigeria that we can boast of. We should have harnessed and be able to, use this language structure to marry our differences and use it as a force for economic development. I think that is the only way we can be able to move forward if we do that. So, what has been the issue that are rather giving us this disparity in our country?
Okay, in that regard, I will respond to that in the sense that there's this it's said that to live for self is to live for less.
Okay.
And if you want to live for more, you have to live for the benefit of others. Martin Luther King said something that the question you must ask yourself every day is that what am I doing for the benefit of others? Now, that idea of I am my own has really robbed us of many opportunities that we will have exploited, that will have bring about national glory, national honor for us. So now when we look at this, our diversity, it should have been a source of strength and solidarity for us. That if I am a Nigerian, I should show my patriotism wherever I go, despite the fact that even if I find myself in another different ethnic group, but that sense of belonging, that sense of being one, will actually make the world to envy us and look at us and say, no, these people are people that are concerned about their own persons. When I am in the north and I know I am a Nigerian, I should protect the common interest of Nigerians that are in the north, in the sense that if there is anything that comes to attack our unity, I should stand up and say no to it, rather than excluding myself that, oh, he's not from my tribe, he doesn't come from my own geographical location, so let him be himself. So when you look at it like in that sense, it will rather bring more harm. That is the reason why I say so, is that if two cannot work together except they be agreed. But when these two people are united, it is difficult for a single entity to divide them. So this issue of I am from this location, I am from this tribe, has really caused a lot of harm to us, rather than bringing a good that it should bring to us. Despite our differences, we should celebrate our differences as persons, as individuals, but working our differences, marrying them together, uniting ourselves together. And I think that is the only way that we could be able to make meaningful progress in the terms of our economic development.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jude. The key point there is unity. And they say, according to the word of God, they said, when you're united, you can fight mountains. You can subdue whatever mountain that stands before you. So we're looking at how Nigeria can be united, and you have actually set it up. So I want to see how this unity can be able to boost our economy, because that is where our focus is this morning. This unity that we're talking about, just like you earlier said, how is it well? How is it going well to actually grow the economy and increase our output and input in Nigeria? I think that will be able to solve some of the issues that we're looking at.
Well, it's good we are looking at the unity, in diversity. There are so many things we have seen because of this Nigerian market issue. Growing up in those days, even before we came to this part of Nigeria, you see, like, I think I've mentioned it here before, that the first tenant my mother had in Port Harcourt as a child when I was growing up. The first set of tenants we had were houses. And they lived after my father built that. I think like 4 units of this thing for my mother, so that she can use that to support herself.
Yeah.
Those Alhajis, in fact, we used to make fun of them, In the first room that one collected, before there are up to 4 of them. They sell earrings, travel. Those people can tell you the history of River State, because there's no part of Port Harcourt, either Elele Market, Ahoda Market, Ogoni, or Emil, before we who are indigenous begin to know that there are places like this, they go out to sell their earrings, their necklace, and all that. So when they come back, that was the first time I saw where where you mix rice and garri to make swallow, and then we'll be laughing because we know that we make our eba. It's a eba. So there's nothing like go and boil rice, and then when the rice is getting soft, and then they turn it. That was their food, and we enjoyed. At the point we started eating that kind of this. Yeah. Now they were not limited, by anything. My uncle, before he passed on, the last place he worked as a contractor was in Gombe. The Alhaji was in Port Harcourt. My uncle was his contractor. Mm. All his house buildings or houses in Port Harcourt was built by my uncle. So by that standard, he took my uncle to Gombe, and then my uncle gave him wonderful hotel. I remember then, around that 2000, when my uncle was like, Alhaji was telling him that the Gombe state government, wanted to even take the hotel from him, buy it from him, because the whole thing was. So my uncle was happy. They were like, okay, Alhaji, you give us the contractor that did this building for us. That was the how Nigeria was. Yeah. You are not afraid. Yeah. You are not afraid of anything. You are taking your business, to wherever you think that you make more money. And that's why, you give it to our Igbo brothers. They tell you any part of Nigeria, any part of the world where you go and you don't find an Igbo man, then that place, you ask yourself question, is it place safe? It's not habitable. Because the economic value they take to that place, you can't compare it. And we saw ourselves as Nigerians. Nobody was saying, this is an Igbo man. He's in Lafia or he's in Meduguri. Jude, did you know that Jude? Were you not born in Meduguri?
I was born there.
So his father, his parents, that's why, I was telling him that this is Igbo Hausa. You understand? I'm sure Jude will speak Hausa more than most Hausa people because he was born there. Yeah. We have interacted. So that unity, was what kept Nigeria. The Igbo man is doing his business all over. The Yoruba man, if you go to Port Harcourt again, there's no sect that are not in Port Harcourt. Maybe because of the crude oil, and then the refinery in Port Harcourt, you go there, you see the Yorubas, you see the Hausas, you see all manner of people. All right. So why is this thing quickly eroding? Jude said something. Capacity. We have had set of leaders who are now dividing Nigeria. I don't believe Nigerians, we don't have issues. To tell the world I don't have issues, let me go to the market or you go to the church. in church, you will see every tribe.
Yeah.
And have you ever seen, in fact, you tend to love the one who is not even from your tribe more. Brother in Christ. So we want to look at, that economy, the economic benefit. If China, that is like 6 times the population of Nigeria,
Of course. Yes.
is the one discipling the world, because there's nothing American can do without China. There's no part of the world that said, no, we don't depend on China. They are not serious. The capacity, they did not look at this person that we said here. China has more than ethnic group than Nigeria. India, we are here talking about 3 ethnic groups in Nigeria. In India, there are 22 recognized ethnic groups. Everything we are doing now, we are going to India. Our ICT is dependent on India. Our health system is dependent. Why can't we look inward and forget this? I am Hausa, I am Yoruba, I am Niger Delta, I am Fulani, and look at one Nigeria.
Well, that is a very big question that the platform is always ready to share with viewers and listeners out there. And if you're listening to us or watching us, you're live, we're streaming live on our platform, Nigerian Market. And our focus this morning, we're looking at unity in diversity based on our population. How well have we been able to use our population to better the Lord economically? And you understand that this platform is talking about economy, how we can boost our economy, and how we look inwards to produce what we eat and eat what we produce, and to be self-sufficient. And that has been our mantra. So the philosophy this morning is that we want to see how we make use of our unity to bring economy. You mentioned one of the teething problems or issues we should look at. Our leaders trying to divide us for their own personal selfish interest.
Not for the interest of the people.
When it comes to during election now, they will talk and as if everyone is, as soon as they get to the office, they now begin to bring the division among us. And that is what has always been the issue today in Nigeria. And this has actually hit us hard. Today, the Northerners look at, it was during our time we used our money to build refineries, and those in the South say, the refinery is ours, so why would you not give us all the position? These are the 2 divides that we're looking at, and this thing has actually, hindered our progress economically. But then we are looking for the way forward, and that is the reason why we're inviting you to join us, make your comments, and we'll always join hands together to fight this monster that is, fighting Nigeria. So your contributions are always welcome. Our lines are on the screen. You can call to make your contributions or send your comments. We'll read them after this program. You're welcome once again. So, Mr. Jude, you actually, make us understand that there's unity. This unity can actually, give us a lot of, benefit, just like other nations have done. I'd like us to actually pinpoint, particularly, what can Nigeria do at this point in time, because we are really divided than before. Your story that you gave right now shows us that those days, those houses that were living in your apartment were unique. Normally they like to live
Together.
Yeah. For them to leave their setup and decide to live with other tribes, that is really actually true Nigerians. But really, before we find this now in Nigeria. So what has actually, caused this divide is what we're going to look at and see how we can, make a way forward to enable our listeners make their contributions.
All right, thank you very much once again. You see, the one of the things that I think is the headway that if we must make is to reorient ourselves as individuals and putting humanity above our differences. The very principal thing that can make us to return to a place of healing, to a place of becoming better, is to reorient ourselves and put humanity above religion, one or any or ethnicity or whatever it is that is causing this divide. When we go back, that if I'm seeing Mr. Samuel, I'm seeing him principally not as somebody that is coming from the South, but as a human being that has the same feeling, the same emotion, the same advantage, whatever, in as much as we are human. If anything happens to him, I should be concerned that it is happening to me. And if I take him as my own self, then whatever it is that will harm him will move forward rather than concentrating on those things that divides us. Something happened while we were in the north then before this insurgency started. Why did this insurgency escalate? It's because of that issue of this one is my brother, that one is not my brother. And so the issue became noticeable. So I think that's what we need to work on.
All right, thank you very much. And that's a very exhaustive point you've made there. We're looking at unity, and that is the focus. And if only we unite and understand that we are all one, then we can always make a headway. So, but then because of time and the circumstance, we want to continue to encourage Nigerians to understand that it's only when we are united that we can make a headway. And we're talking about how we can be able to use our unity to improve our economy and get out of this food that we are all fighting on. So we want to thank you for those who are listening on the platform this morning. We appreciate your time, and we always encourage you to make your inputs and your contributions. Your comments will be read as we do that. And as we do that, I think all of us will be blessed by grace of God. So before we leave the studio, we want to appreciate Mr. Judo at actually made his time to share his thought in this direction. You're welcome.
You did not allow Jude to bring the Hausa in him. You made him speak all the English. No, I wanted him to come the Hausa way, and then from the Hausa to the Igbo way. It's unity in diversity, and he has that. So those cultural values, like he said, reorientation is key. But you see, my major concern is that our leaders have to start, because without the leaders, we can't do anything. So they are the ones dividing Nigeria. They were often said here, their division is to their personal interest, because after the election, that they want you to know that you are Hausa, or that you are Igbo, and that you are Niger Delta, or you are a minority. When they all converge in that National Assembly, have you ever heard them saying that, okay, the issue of money today, they want to share money. This one is minority, this one is Igbo, this one is Hausa. No, the money is money of Nigeria that they are sharing to themselves. So that personal interest that they use to divide Nigerians is what we are appealing, that our leaders have to rethink and then ensure that it is Nigeria and there is no tribe outside Nigeria. All right, so let me also quickly just join to say, since there's no time, our COVID principle, please, that's what the last thing we usually say. The COVID is still here. I think government have just said for civil servants.
Very soon.
Yeah, so
1st December, you may not be accessed.
1st December, so any office you are going to go, we don't have your COVID vaccination card or certificate, so you won't go. I don't know what we will say to that, but please, before then, just ensure. But then also, government has to also be sure that the vaccines are available. They are safe and available. All right. So please, once again, let's keep the protocol. Just wash your hands with running waters, and then use alcohol-based sanitizer. And then, if you are in the public place, I still also maintain that we still put some distance away from. See how we are? Are we close? No. All right. So just maintain some distance.
Okay. Thank you very much for listening, and I want to welcome you, and I pray that in our next edition will be better. We are sorry for the loss of visuals there for a while. So it's just
that's Nigerian power. Never expect power always.
So before we leave, Mr. Jude, there's a mantra we always share in the studio. You buy Nigeria to grow.
We have changed to buy Nigeria to grow.
So we're going to say that together, and allow our viewers to always join us.
All right.
So let's say, buy Nigeria to grow Nigeria.
Bye.